Hi everyone, welcome to Hit&Enter. In this episode I'm talking with Peter Kwakernaak of the billing and payment platform Accept Email about his company, enterprise sales and the larger fintech ecosystem. Enjoy the show. Hi everyone, I'm Samir Sabiri and I'm here today with Peter Kwakernaak, the CEO of Accept Email, a leading billing and payments platform. Peter, it's really a pleasure to have you here with us.
Thank you for having me.
Peter, can you tell us a bit more about Accept Email?
Yeah, sure. Accept Email's mission is to make bill payments easy. Everybody receives bills, household bills, and you have to pay those all the time, but it's a bit of a drag. I mean, you have to log into portals, you have to get paper and retype everything from the paper into your online banking. So some years ago we decided it doesn't have to be like that. So what we do is provide a platform that enables billers to send their customers bills in a very easy way in a place where everybody is every day, which is the inbox, your personal email inbox. And that's what we do.
Okay. Over the last few years you have managed to onboard a large number of corporate clients. I know as a fact that it's quite a struggle for many startups to get their enterprise sales strategy right. Can you tell us a bit more how you coped with that?
Well, it wasn't very easy, Samir. I mean, we started at the end of the chain, you know, when things got almost impossible and people really didn't want to pay their bill. So then we said, okay, give us a shot before you send it to a collection agent. Let's see if this works with this Accept Email, a mail with a link and an image. Give us a try. And as we did, the company saw that it worked. So we expanded from the how low can you go at the end of the bill to cash chain. And then people said, okay, maybe we can do a reminder. Okay, maybe we can do a bounce debit, a direct debit. And then finally we got to the initial bills. And in the meantime, there were a lot of trends happening. But we built a relationship with the corporates from the ground on. And in all honesty, if you have one or two customers per sector, they look at each other, they talk to each other. So, and if you can show that you've done it before, and if you're trying to be the standard in what you do, and if you have a lot of content about the topic, eventually you will get there. But you always start with the most innovative. So we sell to credit managers in innovation. That's a tough struggle.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one, but we really found some people that said, look, we've done this for 100 years, calling people, sending papers, let's do it differently. So we created some ambassadors, which took a while.
But if I'm correct, you subsidized the first few clients. It was, I don't know if it was a freemium model, but you invested a lot to get the first clients on board.
I wouldn't call it subsidizing in terms of giving it away for free, because if you give something away, it's worth nothing. But we spend a lot of time with them, so we value their opinion. So we put in a lot of professional services. So in that context, you're right. Going with the customers, helping them, listening to them, making adjustments to the system, and really doing what they ask for. So in that respect we subsidized, but we never gave away anything for free because we wanted to be taken seriously and we provide a serious service. I mean, we drag in the money, and that's what makes a company continue. So that's why people that say today, could we do a demo? Sure, but if you want to do a real payment, then we're going to charge for it.
Of course.
So that it worked like a little bit like a snowball too. Yeah.
You just said that you contacted the innovation managers and the credit managers. One of the issues is with startups is also how do you contact exactly the right person to do business with at corporate companies? So how did you came into contact with those people?
It's a tough one. You need to find the right profile for your service and the early adopters. We did it by pinpointing very clearly to the pain that we saw in organizations, and asking people if we would be allowed to help them. Innovation managers are not very much on our screen. We definitely go directly to the business owners.
Okay.
So anybody with innovation on his business card, normally isn't very helpful for us. But somebody that is in billing or in collection,
they aren't helpful because.
Well, because they tend not to solve business problems. They tend to look at innovation as sometimes something that is good for marketing or the PR of a company.
Okay, that's quite an interesting statement, by the way.
Well, it's not that many corporates that we see actually have innovation managers. So I'd say it's a very small. I mean, there are innovation managers at financial institutes, but that's not our customers. So, but the innovation managers we saw at corporates are focusing on the big picture, and we're just solving straightforward problems.
They're focusing more on the high level issues of innovation.
Yeah, and you say something like digitalization. Oh,
exactly,
well, that's great, but that's a container thing to say.
Yeah.
Which digitalization in which processes? So we sincerely focus on collections and billing, and that's where we help the people with just being able to achieve their goals, like lower outstandings, less reminders, quicker payments, satisfied customers that don't run away. Customer churn and customer retention are also important issues for companies.
Very important.
That's what we do.
It's an issue I've understood that a lot of corporate companies don't focus on, actually, on churn and retention, which is quite strange, actually.
It is strange. It depends a little bit on the industry. I mean, telco has been very good at doing that because it's a fighters market. Insurance companies were a little later, as they were with digitalization. Right now, the big thing in insurance companies is customer engagement.
Yes.
But that's because they gave away their entire distribution network to intermediaries and agents. And now they find out that they don't exactly know what the customers'
who their customers are,
who they are, and what they do, and in what stage of their life they are. So there you see that they're really now,
and what they actually need in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. And so they can't focus on what to propose to somebody when. So in insurance, there's a big thing going on now in that part of digitalization.
Great.
Telco's pretty good at it.
Great. I've heard that you recently expanded to the United States. How did that go?
Yeah, we expanded to the United States, to the UK, Germany, and Belgium. US it's 4 months ago because we said, okay, we've worked with now 600 billers for 6-7 years. Now we are ready to face the really big companies. All the way it goes, it's tough. It's not easy, but every prospect we have there is a whale. They're all huge. I mean,
and that's probably the reason you want to go to the United States.
It is the reason. Our platform is ready for it. Our integration skills are ready for it. Our trade secrets, everything we learned from implementations and from other customers is all good enough to now go to the US.
And can you name a few of those whales and actually also a few companies who are already interesting clients of yours?
Well, the first thing we did is we followed our existing customers from the Netherlands. So companies like Aegon, who has Transamerica in the US. And
Aegon is an insurance
Aegon
company.
is a large insurance company, but they're actually bigger in the US than they are here. We work in the Netherlands for T-Mobile. T-Mobile is huge in the US. Santander in the consumer finance area is a big one. AB InBev in the beer breweries. So that's the part we're working on right now.
And you just said that you're following them in the United States. Would that also be a strategy you would advise other startups or other companies to follow?
Yes.
If you want to expand abroad?
Yeah, you first see if you can get some help at friendly fire, you call it, from people you know, ambassadors. It looks like the easy way, it isn't. You find out that large organizations are silos as much in countries as they are in disciplines. So if you just say, hey, contact person at insurance company A, can you introduce me to your peer in the US? That's a very difficult question. People generally cannot answer that. So you still need to do a lot of canvassing. But at the end of the day, the only thing you have is if you have found the right persons, you can say, look, I have a testimonial and somebody you can call within your own organization. Please do. and tell me what they think, then you get somewhere. But don't think it's a walk in the park. It's much more difficult than you think. But still, it's a valid strategy to go for.
Are there any other differences with selling or enterprise sales in the United States and the Netherlands or Europe?
Yeah, you can actually sell to an American company without ever seeing anybody.
Wow.
Which is extraordinary. Nobody believes that in the Netherlands, but they don't seem to bother, as long as they maybe see you on a Skype
and
screen.
The numbers are right.
The numbers are right, and they do their background checking, but they do that in a different way. And they actually, that's one of the differences. The other difference is that people don't like to make appointments. So then you would say, okay, how do you do it then? Well, you basically say, okay, can I have a call, 10 minutes, just an update, or oh, I happen to be in the neighborhood, can I swing by for coffee? Yes. So they should always have a way to escape the meeting if they like to. Yeah. That's what they decide whether they're going to spend more or less time on you.
Is that because it's more efficient, or
it's everybody's super efficient?
It's just a culture.
It's a cultural thing. It's there's a time for getting to know each other, and there's a time for socializing, and much more than here in the Netherlands, everything has a networking aspect. But networking in the Netherlands has a bit of a negative connotation. But there is just, okay, maybe I can help you, maybe you can help me, maybe we can do a match, but let's figure it out as quickly as we can.
Is that what you mean with the networking aspect?
Yeah,
that
networking
you
is
try to help each other out? Or?
You try to help each other out. Can you do an intro for me there? Can you help me with that? And in general, people are helpful, but it's a two-way street. And there are no IOUs, but still people will make an instant decision whether it's worthwhile helping you, and the other way around. So people are very business-minded, but also super efficient, especially in New York, where nobody has time and everybody would like to improve themselves because the cost of living are so huge.
Yeah. And does that mean that your sales cycle will also be much shorter? So actually that would be really a good thing, because you know in a very short time span if the company is becoming a client or not. Yeah. While here in the Netherlands, I know as a fact that sometimes it could take even a year or longer to get a corporate client on board.
It's not an easy question to answer, because you can get a long way without seeing each other, but they're also quite hierarchical. So if you have the guy high up, he says, okay, let's do the analysis with people lower in the organization, and people lower in the organization will always say, I need to take it up with upper management. So you need to do multi-level selling at most of the cases, and that can take some time. Yeah. So although there is a percentage in the state that says after a first call or meeting, could you send me a proposal? And that I've never seen in the Netherlands.
So but if you would make an educated guess about the sales time, how long would that be, or isn't there any difference?
I don't think it will make a lot of difference in the beginning, but it will make a difference in the end, because if you have enough American companies as your customer and they look at each other, they will make the assessment quicker. So in the end, it'll go down.
That's a snowball effect.
That's a snowball effect, but that'll take a couple of years. And the other difference is, and why it's not such a big thing that the sales cycles are long, is that they're all so big that once you land one, it's already big. Yeah. You know, so
the whales.
The whales. There are small whales and big whales, but for instance, you have about 100 utility companies, and we have 4 in the Netherlands. Exactly. And they're all bigger than the Nuon. So that's weird. But it's also challenging, and of course, competition is fierce. Yes. You have to get on the radar, which is a tough job. But as soon as we can get to explain our differences and what we're trying to achieve, we get attention. And I have had no one that said, "Oh, this is ridiculous. We already have that. It makes no sense. Bye bye." Yeah.
I understand. Got you. Except email is at the forefront of digital billing and payments technology. So I was wondering, what's your take on the evolving banking and fintech ecosystem?
Well, there are lots of interesting things going on. One of the big trends we see in payments is instant payments, faster payments. You have different shapes in that. I think that's something that's going to happen, and it's going to take a while, but we all expect our payments to go from person A to person B in a split second, and not in days. So that's an advent that we see that's very important. Of course, there's all kinds of international changes with respect to, for instance, the PSD2, which is a risk and compliance type of regulation that will allow new players to enter the market, especially those that can provide access to the account. So you get all sorts of services where banks have to help get access to the account, and that could be for initiating a payments transaction, or it could be for retrieving information on, for instance, payments you've made.
When you're talking about the account, it's just my bank.
It's your bank account. Yeah, it's direct access to your bank account and all kinds of services around this. And we think that particular trend is very interesting for e-billing, because it will enable you to do bill payments internationally much easier than you do today.
And probably much cheaper.
Certainly much cheaper than a card.
Because you will get the middleman out of the system in that way, or?
Yeah, you will get the middlemen like card companies or PSPs or any type of people that are in between. But you will also be associated with what you call fixed fee transactions. So 50 cents or 20 cents.
Yes, as a customer, I really love that fixed fees.
Yeah, but also as a biller. I mean, right now, the big percentages for credit card charges or PayPal are picked up by the billers, by the merchants. And they don't like that. And specifically bill payments, where you send out bills, billers expect fixed fee instead of ad valorem or percentage-based pricing mechanisms. So we really like those developments on behalf of our customers too. Yeah.
And the last point, the issue about instant messaging, is that somehow related to the blockchain technology, the Bitcoin blockchain technology?
Well, for me, the Bitcoin technology is another payment method that's frictionless, that's quick, that takes away intermediaries, that is like cryptocurrency. I firmly believe that that's going to happen. Blockchain in terms of ledger and in terms of how you deal with information storage, I think that's what you see is Bitcoin will probably disappear and blockchain will evolve. There are so many financial institutions now jumping on that. I don't immediately see what it'll do for us, but it will make the whole payments infrastructure more frictionless and quicker. And I think if that's the thing that Bitcoin actually resulted in, that's still a great achievement. So I'm really looking forward to that, but I don't see a lot of difference in the way we work for our customers, especially because we deal with almost no sensitive information, and we are not part of the payment flow. So as soon as you initiate a payment, you're out of our sight until you've authorized it. And then we see the confirmation, and then we actually turn your email green, which is our color for payment successful. Yeah. Because the essence of Accept Email is that we change the status of an email in your inbox when it's in your inbox.
The trend right now is that a lot of people are using WhatsApp and Telegram and those kind of things. So messaging is growing exponentially. And your platform, it's even in the name, it's Accept Email, so it's using email as a distribution channel. So I was wondering, how does that trend change your business?
Well, actually it doesn't. We are always capable to adjust to any kind of messaging mechanism that has a footprint, I would say, almost equal to email. But at the back end of many of the messaging mechanisms you mentioned is still email. So we'd say if this is an address space that you as a person have chosen yourself, so it's not been imposed on you by anybody, and it has the reach, the unambiguous reach of email, then we will go for it. And today we can also do SMS and WhatsApp. So to
so
us,
then I just received the bill via WhatsApp. That's
Yeah.
possible via your
yeah,
platform.
well, WhatsApp has still some issues with open APIs, but we do SMS, and
Yes.
if we can access WhatsApp, we will, because in essence, what we provide is a technology that contains a payment transaction in an image, in a picture, and whether we show that in WhatsApp or on a portal or in an email, or if we compress it and as a link in a text message, that doesn't matter. So we are ready for whatever messaging mechanisms will happen. The only thing we're not is an app. We are 100% software free. No app, no logging in, no registration. So we do not believe in apps for billing.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
believe in apps, but you're not gonna download 50 apps from your utility provider, your insurance company, and whoever else wants to be on your telephone.
I gather that it's a deliberate decision.
Totally deliberate, and we have the discussion every quarter. Should we build an app? And we say no, because we want an address space that you choose.
Exactly.
And you're not going to choose to download an app from one of our billers. Or
And
from
in that way, Accept Email will be a platform agnostic
Yeah, we are.
service.
We want to be platform agnostic, payments agnostic, device agnostic, totally agnostic,
Yeah.
which also separates us from the big players like PayPal has a bill presentment proposition, but only payments with PayPal. Apple Pay, you need an Apple device.
Exactly.
Google has a Pony Express, it's also a bill presentment. You're probably gonna need Gmail. So we'd say whatever mail client you use, whatever device, whatever brand or phone, we don't care, and whatever payment method. Because we're not a payment method, we are just sort of saying, here, please pay. And then we push the transaction into the channel, and somebody else will take care of the authorization. And that you will do in a way you've always done in a web store or any other place. So we think at the end of the day, being totally independent of all those channels will be the winning strategy.
Great. Peter, thank you for being with us.
Thank you, it was my pleasure.